multi-talented singers and instrumentalists, great theatrical performances, extravagant and creative stages, masters of elaborate avant-garde fashion, experimentalists with genre-bending hits. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Visual Kei. In this video, I will introduce you to the pioneers and masters of Japan's bold and unconventional rock and roll culture. What is Visual Kei? Visual Kei is Japan's most extravagant rock movement born in the 1980s. It is defined by genre-bending costumes, theatrical live performances, and lyrics about love, death, and fantasy. It's like kabuki meets heavy metal. Visual Kei artists are living art pieces, so expect Snow White makeup, razor-sharp contouring, and elaborate hairstyles like long asymmetric cuts, neon wigs, or Victorian-era curls. Their music blends metal subgenres like neoclassical, new metal, industrial, and progressive rock with theatrical vocals, the angelic highs or demonic growls, extreme dynamics, and avant-garde experimentation. Live shows are part concert, part exorcism with smoke, fake blood, and yes, fans crying in a front row. Now, here are 15 masters of Visual Kei. X-Japan, the pioneers of Visual Kei. The term Visual Kei was inspired by X-Japan's iconic slogan, psychedelic violence crime of visual shock, which perfectly encapsulated their theatrical stage presence and boundary-pushing aesthetics. X-Japan made history as the first Japanese band to perform a concert at the legendary Tokyo Dome, a feat that solidified their mainstream success and opened the doors for other rock acts. The band experienced several hiatuses and tragedies, including the deaths of guitarist Hide and bassist Taiji. Despite this, they had a highly anticipated reunion in 2007. Fun fact: their song Art of Life is 29 minutes long and extends to 45 minutes during live concerts. Must-hear tracks: Endless Rain and Forever Love. GACKT, the enduring pillars of Japanese Gothic rock. GACKT is one of the longest-running and most active Japanese rock bands. They maintained their original 5-member lineup for over 35 years until the passing of their vocalist Atsushi Sakurai in 2023. This is a rare feat in the often volatile music industry. As one of the founding acts of Visual Kei, GACKT's musical style has evolved throughout their career. Like most bands in this list, they refuse to be pigeonholed into a single genre. I love how their music reminds me of the 80s dark wave, including The Cure, Aha, The Clash, Duran Duran, The Blades, and The Jam. Known for their sophisticated and often enigmatic visuals, particularly their frontman Atsushi Sakurai's striking androgynous aesthetic, they have influenced countless bands and artists in both the Visual Kei scene and the broader Japanese rock landscape. Fun fact: their official fan club is called Fish Tank. Must-hear tracks: Dress and My Funny Valentine. Dead End, the proto-Visual Kei dark glam trailblazers. While not always officially classified under the later Visual Kei banner, Dead End's heavy metal aesthetics, gothic-tinged hard rock sound, and charismatic frontman Mori inspired bands who would go on to define Visual Kei in the late 80s to early 90s, including X-Japan and L'Arc-en-Ciel. Mori's unique and highly emotive vocal delivery ranging from deep growls to soaring falsettos, set a new standard for expressiveness in Japanese rock and inspired countless vocalists across the Visual Kei spectrum. Despite achieving mainstream success, Dead End maintained a cult-like following for their music. The band released a new album in 2009 and has maintained their heavy metal sounds that resemble aggressive and powerful downstrokes of guitarist Yuji Adachi, albeit also representing punk-ridden and more lively drumming brought about by Luna City's Shinya. When you listen to their Zero album, it seems like you're being brought back to the 80s. Fun fact, they were one of the first few metal bands to have their music distributed in the USA in the 1980s via Metal Blade Records. Must-hear tracks, Good Morning Satellite and Trickster. Lac en Ciel, the iconic innovators who transcended Visual Kei. While becoming one of Japan's most commercially successful and enduring rock bands, Lac en Ciel originated in the early 90s Visual Kei scene and was much like the typical Visual Kei bands before evolving into a genre-defying mainstream phenomenon. Since they have been continually active, they never broke up. Their music and style have transformed from being a glam metal band in the early 90s, an alternative rock band in the late 90s, to a new metal band in the 2000s. However, despite musical trends, Lac en Ciel crafted diverse, sophisticated melodies and intricate arrangements which appealed to loyal and new audiences. They were among the first major Japanese rock bands to extensively tour outside of Asia, including sold-out shows in North America, Europe, and South America, which contributed to the global phenomenon of Japanese music and influenced countless international artists. Fun fact, bassist Tetsu revealed in an interview that he is bisexual and has liked boys since he was a child. Must-hear tracks are Driver's High and New World. Kuroyume, the Underground Kings. Kuroyume was instrumental in shaping the darker, more aggressive, and raw side of early Visual Kei, which contrasts with the era's more flamboyant or melodic metal bands. They are considered highly influential on subsequent bands exploring heavier sounds. Aside from GACKT, they are my favorite band on the list because I can relate to their music the most, especially since in the early years, they started with a strong punk foundation like bands The Vandals and Rancid. Despite drastically evolving in their career and incorporating elements of hard rock, grunge, and even pop, everything is still within the reach of their original fans. They've somehow shredded their Visual Kei aesthetics in the late 90s as they pursued mainstream success, much like many bands in this list. Comprised primarily of vocalist Kiyoharu and guitarist Hitoki, Kuroyume's powerful chemistry and distinct musical vision made them one of the most respected and impactful duos in Japanese rock history, even after multiple hiatuses and reformations. Fun fact, Kuroyume means Black Dream in English. Must-hear tracks, Beams and Faster Beat. MALICE MIZER, theatrical Baroque Gothic rock. More than the earlier bands in this list, MALICE MIZER was renowned for their elaborate and highly theatrical live performances. They set full-scale stage productions with intricate costumes, dramatic sets, silent skits between songs, and storytelling that made each concert a unique experience. The band's career is divided into distinct eras defined by its vocalists Tetsu, GACKT, and Klaha, and by significant shifts in musical style visual aesthetics, and overarching themes from French Romanticism to darker Gothic tones. When you think of Visual Kei, you would always think of MALICE MIZER and of course ex-Japan, and the most recent Visual Kei bands they influenced, like Versailles, plus other symphonic metal bands in this generation. Think heavily made up members, classical outfits, and dramatic performances. Guitarist Mana, a co-founder and primary composer, is widely credited as a major influence and pioneer of the Gothic Lolita fashion subculture. He even founded his own fashion label, Moi Me Moite, which continues to shape the style. Fun fact, they were mainly the reason for the emergence of several Visual Kei fashion brands in Japan. Must-hear tracks, Baroque, and Gekkan no Yasokyoku. Lunacy, the Moonlight Mystics of Visual Kei. Lunacy is known for their unique blend of hard rock, progressive rock, gothic, punk, and alternative elements, which are characterized by complex song structures, melodic guitar work, and Ryuichi's distinctive vocals. Like the latter Lock on Ciel, Lunacy's music delves more into alternative and progressive rock. If you're like me who doesn't really appreciate glam metal, maybe you wouldn't enjoy the general Visual Kei, but you would definitely love Lunacy. While initially embracing the Visual Kei aesthetic, Lunacy gradually toned down its visual presentation as its sound matured and became a successful mainstream rock band. After an extended hiatus, they officially reunited in 2010 and continue to release new music and tour. Fun fact, they were originally named Lunacy, but later changed their name to Lunacy. Must-hear tracks, Deja Vu and Rosier. Dear Anne Grey, The Provocateurs. Dear Anne Grey began as a prominent Visual Kei band in the late 90s, but has since changed its genre, mixing elements of industrial, avant-garde, and extreme metal. Because of that, they gained a massive international following beyond the Visual Kei scene. Much like their music, the band's visual aesthetic has undergone continuous transformation, moving from their early flamboyant Visual Kei looks to more understated and dark imagery, which reflects their musical progression. Dear Anne Grey is highly respected for their artistic integrity and experimental approach. They are the heaviest rock band on this list, having ventured into death metal, which reminds me of the earlier albums of Slipknot and Mudvayne, and the bands Sepultura and Greyhounds. Fun fact, their music video for Obscure was banned on TV for obvious reasons. Well, you should watch that video. Must-hear tracks, Rasetsukoku and Obscure. GACKT, the multi-talented visual icon and the dark prince of Visual Kei. GACKT, or Gakuto, is best known for his incredibly successful and diverse solo career, which he launched in 1999 after he departed from MALICE MIZER. He has released numerous albums and singles, consistently charting on the Oricon charts. Many people know him even more than his former band. GACKT is a multi-hyphenate, excelling not only as a musician, but also as a prolific actor in films, like in Moonchild, which he co-wrote and co-starred in with Hide of Lock and Ciel, TV dramas such as his iconic role as Uesugi Kenshin of Furin Kazan. He's also a voice actor and author. Known for his intense stage presence and elaborate, often fantastical personas, GACKT immerses himself and his audience enrich conceptual worlds for his tours and releases, thus cementing his status as a legendary figure in Japanese entertainment. Fun fact: GACKT established his own religion called GACKTism. He also famously claimed to have been born in 1540. Must-hear tracks: Vanilla and Journey Through the Decade. The GAZETTE, modern Visual Kei with a heavy edge. Starting with a strong Visual Kei identity in punk and rock, the GAZETTE has incorporated heavier elements like alternative, new, and industrial metal while maintaining their distinctive melodic and emotional core. Known for their dark, unsettling, and stylish visuals, the GAZETTE consistently creates elaborate concepts for their albums and music videos. The band has built a substantial international fan base. If you ask late Gen X people and millennials about Visual Kei, they most likely would know the band because they sound like Slipknot and other new metal bands from the late 90s to the early 2000s. Ruki, their vocalist, has a voice that is distinctly Japanese. If you love anime or Japanese culture, you will find it familiar. Fun fact: they're known for wearing bondage straps and donning neon hair. Must-hear tracks: Hyena and Ugly. An Cafe, Harajuku dance rock with a Visual Kei soul. While not strictly Visual Kei masters in the traditional sense, like ex-Japan or MALICE MIZER, An Cafe, or Anti-Cafe, was instrumental in popularizing Oshare Kei, a subgenre of Visual Kei known for its bright, colorful fashion and more upbeat pop-inspired sound. They were a defining band of that movement. An Cafe gained significant international recognition, touring extensively in Europe and the Americas, which helped introduce a broader audience to the Visual Kei aesthetic and Japanese rock music. After a hiatus, the band made a comeback in 2024 and started their 2025 tour, with the exception of Bo, now their former guitarist. Fun fact: they're the Visual Kei band that is most loved by kids, obviously because of their concept. Must-hear tracks: Cherry and Jibun. Alice 9, Visual Kei with constant evolution. Alice 9 has undergone several name changes throughout their career, starting as their Japanese name Aris 9, then simplifying to the English Alice 9, later rebranding to A9, and eventually reverting to Alice 9, reflecting their journey and shifts in their artistic direction. While rooted in Visual Kei, Alice 9 is known for fusing various musical influences into their sound, from hard rock, alternative, and pop, to more electronic, orchestral, and dance punk elements, ensuring their music remains fresh and captivating. After departing from their longtime management agency PS Company, they embraced an independent path to commit to their creative freedom and maintain a close relationship with their fans. Fun fact: Alice 9 is widely known for their anime theme song contributions. Must-hear tracks: Blue Planet and Rainbow. Versailles, symphonic metal royalty with Rococo grandeur. Versailles built an elaborate backstory and theatrical concept around being descendants of the Rose, immortal beings strongly connected to French aristocracy and vampire mythos, which influenced their lyrics, music videos, and stage performances. The band is known for their detailed and extravagant Rococo-esque costumes, elaborate hairstyles, and dramatic makeup, embodying an absolute beauty and extreme aestheticism that makes them easily recognizable within the Visual Kei scene. Musically, Versailles combines heavy melodic symphonic power metal with intricate dueling guitar harmonies between Hizaki and Teru, layered with orchestral arrangements, creating a sound as grand and dramatic as their visuals. They remind me of bands like Symphony X and Aeron, as well as the signature guitar style of American guitarist John Petrucci of Dream Theater. Fun fact, some of their members wear classical European wigs and everyone is always royally made up. Must-hear tracks, Aristocrat Symphony and Masquerade. MIYAVI, the samurai guitarist. MIYAVI is renowned worldwide for his unique and percussive slap style of playing the electric guitar, where he uses his fingers to tap and slap the strings instead of a pick. This creates a distinctive, rhythmic, and highly energetic sound. He began his career in the Visual Kei band Dule Quartz, but his solo work has pushed boundaries. He incorporates rock, pop, funk, electronica, and hip-hop elements, creating a truly global and modern sound. Beyond music, MIYAVI has gained international recognition for his acting roles in Hollywood films such as Angelina Jolie's Unbroken and Kong Skull Island. He is also an official Goodwill Ambassador for UNHCR, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, actively raising awareness for refugee causes worldwide. Fun fact, MIYAVI is a super dad with 3 children with his lovely wife, Melody. Must-hear tracks, What's My Name and Are You Ready to Rock? VAMPS, the dark and global rock super duo. VAMPS is a Japanese rock super duo formed in 2008 by 2 prominent figures in the Japanese rock scene. Hyde is the vocalist of L'Arc-en-Ciel and is a successful solo artist, and KAZ is the guitarist of Oblivion Dust and is a celebrated composer. Their collaboration brought together their unique musical strengths. Unlike many Japanese bands, VAMPS has pursued a strong international presence since its early days, undertaking multiple world tours, performing at major festivals like the Download Festival, and supporting international acts. Every release by VAMPS has reached the top 10 on Japan's Oricon Music Chart, showing their popularity and the strong appeal of their hard and alternative rock sound, which blends aggressive riffs with melodic vocals. VAMPS is heavier than each of Hyde's and KAZ's bands. They remind me of a mix of bands like Alice in Chains, Black Label Society, Feeder, and Ash. Fun fact, VAMPS organizes midnight-only live shows and sells fake fan merch. Must-listen tracks, Love Addict and Underworld. And that's it for our first round of Visual Kei content featuring the pioneers and masters of the J-rock genre. Did I miss out your favorite band? If so, comment their names below. Soon we'll feature the set of new VK architects and alchemists. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more pop culture content. See you on the next video!